Good afternoon. Please be seated. My name is Jan Fuller, and I am the university chaplain, overseeing spiritual and religious life, and the other chaplains who are here to support and encourage you in your growth as whole people, in your self-understanding and development. And how grateful we are that you and your families virtually join our community today. We take seriously and joyously the many and varied paths to making meaning, spiritualities that encompass many religions and none. The university motto, Numen Lumen, is a Latin phrase that means spiritual and intellectual light. Your education will be superb with these two perspectives. As you root yourself here with us, we invite you not to forget the spiritual, the numen, the numinous elements of an Elon education, awe and wonder, meaning and health, reflection, love, and blessing. You can do all of these and be exactly who you are. And this is the reason we pray before big events. We invite ourselves to perceive and marvel in the numen, the spiritual light of our experience and community, and to tune our hearts in the direction of what is holy among us. So today we ask the sacred mystery of the universe, however we name it, to bless you and to give you a home here, to keep you well, to bring you strength in difficult moments and joy in it all. We ask God to make us better humans, students, and teachers, to inspire our minds to think, our hearts to feel, and our hands to serve. As we go forward this day into a new semester and a new year, and in all the days to come, let us trust that we are held in love by both supreme and human beings, that this is the right place and time for us, and that our hearts and souls and minds will be part of the healing of this world. And let it be so. We invite and pray and trust. Amen. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Robbie Miley, Executive President of the Student Government Association, to welcome you to our community.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robbie Miley, and I currently serve as your student body president here at Elon. I'm excited to welcome you all here today, and I hope that you all are just as excited to embark on your new journey. A little over 4 years ago in high school, I was touring various colleges and universities up and down the East Coast. The 3 schools in North Carolina that I was looking at were Duke, Chapel Hill, and Wake Forest. Just a few days before we planned to leave, we added this school called Elon to our trip. As we listened to the admissions presentations and we went on our campus tour, I could tell that something about this place was just different. It's hard to explain, but it just felt right. After our visit to Elon, we drove to Duke for our second campus tour of the day, and we ended up leaving within 30 minutes of being there. Based on where I'm standing, you can probably tell which school I liked a little bit better. I was looking forward to coming to Elon the summer before my freshman year, but I'd be lying to you if I said that my first semester here was perfect. Academically, I was doing fine, but I kind of felt a little lost here. I knew a ton of people from my hall and my classes, but there was no one that I was particularly close to. And while I was a part of several different organizations, I wasn't passionate about them, and I didn't feel that sense of community that I felt was present on this campus. Going into winter term, my first year, the thought of transferring had actually crossed my mind. However, shortly after, I met two of my best friends in that winter term class, and I've lived with one of them for 2 years now. My sophomore year was even better. I joined two different organizations that I love with incredible people in it, where many of my lifelong friendships began. My junior year, I became student body president. The amount of support I had from my friends and the community as a whole was overwhelming, and even if I lost, I knew that I was no longer lost on this campus. When I toured Elon, I felt that something about this place was just different, and I didn't see that during my first semester here, but now I do. I talked about my freshman, sophomore, and junior years, and now I am a senior wishing I had more time. Go out and make the most of your time here because it goes quicker than you think. I know this pandemic makes things harder, but you can find your community here. You just need to find creative ways to connect with people and put yourself out there a little bit. Try new things, meet different types of people. I'm excited for Elon to become your new home, and by the time you graduate, I hope you all feel the same way about this institution as I do. Congratulations to you all, and welcome to Elon. Senior administrators at Elon are highly invested in your success. To reflect this investment, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Aswani Valetti, and Vice President of Student Life, John Dooley, are here to celebrate your entrance into the Elon community. Dr. Dooley will now share some of our traditions. Thank you.
Please clap, yes, please. Good afternoon. We're going to try that again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Elon. We are so glad that you are here. I also want to say that we are really proud of Robbie and are grateful for his leadership with student government. He's a great example of a well-rounded student who has taken full advantage of his experiences here, while also making Elon a better place for his classmates. What most people don't realize is that Robbie lost several elections before becoming involved in SGA and eventually winning the election of president. He's a great example of the importance of resilience, perseverance, and determination, because he has been tremendously successful and has had a profound impact on the campus through his leadership. We expect that each one of you will also make the most of your education and all Elon has to offer, while also shaping the community through your leadership on campus. Although you may not have envisioned that you would begin your Elon career in the middle of a pandemic, it is our hope that you look forward to all that you can and all that you will experience while you're here at Elon. Starting today, it's official. You are a member of this university community. We are a diverse group of individuals, and so the strength of our community can be found in the mentoring, relationships, and many traditions that bring us together. In addition to welcoming you today, I want to take a few moments to share with you some of the university's most cherished traditions. Although some are currently altered or reimagined a bit because of the pandemic, in the true spirit of a university that quite literally rose from the ashes, like our namesake, the Phoenix, we press forward with traditions that continue to strengthen our community and nurture our relationships on campus. If you ask almost any student on campus about Elon traditions, they will undoubtedly include college coffee, which is an occasion each Tuesday morning when our students, faculty, and staff come together as one community. College coffee takes place during a break in the morning schedule, so there are no classes at that time, but there's plenty of free coffee, food, and conversation. After a hiatus this fall, everyone on campus is looking forward to the return of our first college coffee this Tuesday, coincidentally, your first college coffee. I hope that you'll take the opportunity to come, introduce yourself to someone, and be open to meeting a new friend, student, faculty, or staff. Thursday mornings, at that same time, there's also a break in the class schedule for Newman Lumen. This is a time and space to take a step back and refresh the spirit. It is not a worship service, rather a time of reflection with an inspiration offered by a member of the Elon community, complemented by incredibly talented, wonderful student musicians. Each Thursday morning, you'll receive a link to the weekly speaker. It's a nice reminder to be still, to listen, and to reflect as a community. Newman Lumen is one of my favorite opportunities to pause and reflect during my own busy week, and I hope you'll join me in doing so. Relationships and mentoring will be important aspects of your Elon experience. One of your primary tasks as a student is to create a network of mentoring relationships that will help you think more deeply about yourself and your future. There are a number of campus traditions that help foster the connections between students and faculty or staff. For example, a faculty or staff member can invite you to lunch or coffee through the Take a Student to Lunch program, and when you swipe your IDs at the register, neither one of you will be charged for the meal. It's one of the ways that we invest in conversation you'll have over a meal and the relationships that we know you'll strengthen. But you don't have to wait for an invitation from a faculty or staff member, because students can use a similar program called Side Swipes to extend that invitation to a faculty or staff member that you'd like to get to know better. The same deal. Swipe your IDs at the register, and we'll pay for coffee or lunch. The on-campus residential neighborhoods each have their own traditions that bring faculty and staff into the life of the neighborhood through dinners and other events, and most of our neighborhoods have faculty members living with their families right here on campus. If you're living on campus, I strongly encourage you to get to know these faculty members living in residence and to attend the events your neighborhood sponsors to bring those faculty and students together in their space. Throughout the year, there are lots of great events that have become important traditions for the community. The Turning 21 dinners, where students celebrate their 21st birthday, connecting with a mentor in a rite of passage that celebrates strong relationships and mentoring at the university. Family weekends and homecoming, which are opportunities each fall we welcome families and alumni back to campus for a celebration of our Elon community and hopefully a football victory. The annual Festival of Holiday Lights each December, with luminaries that light the pathways of the historic neighborhood and stations that celebrate the music, spiritual, and religious traditions of the season. The Elon-thon Dance Marathon that's held each April and serves as a fundraiser for Duke Children's Hospital. Since it started in 2003, our students have raised more than $2 million and have had a great time doing so. From just these few examples, I hope you can see that this is a community where people come together. We also have a strong tradition of students supporting athletic contests and cultural programs. This is only our third season of athletics in the new Schar Center. And while the state COVID requirements don't allow for in-person spectators yet, I encourage you to attend one of our watch parties on campus or gather with a small group of friends to watch the games on Flow Hoops and support your fellow Phoenix. In the fall semester, football Saturdays are always a highlight, with tailgating that occurs outside Rhodes Stadium and a recent return to a winning tradition on the field inside the stadium. But this year, you actually didn't miss football season. The Phoenix are playing this spring. So be on the lookout for student tickets, and I hope you'll join me for the first football game this year against Davidson on Saturday, February 20th. Actually, this will be a busy spring for many of our athletic teams, with the unusual occurrence of basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, tennis, and soccer all in season at the same time. We also have incredible music, dance, and theater programs on campus. You can see your classmates here on stage at Elon just years before that these same people will be performing on Broadway. Just before the pandemic closed New York theaters last spring, Fergie Philippe, a 2017 Elon alum, had just taken over the role of Hercules Mulligan and James Madison in Hamilton in the Broadway production. And this spring, our commencement speaker will be Daniel J. Watts, a 2004 Elon alum who was nominated for a Tony Award for his portrayal of Ike Turner in the Broadway production of Tina, the Tina Turner musical. The fall and spring convocations bring renowned authors and world leaders to campus. In the past few years, we've heard from UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, Zachary Wood, Preet Bharara, and Sonia Manzano, best known for her work as Maria on Sesame Street. This fall, we heard from authors Jennifer Eberhardt and Ibram Kendi, historian David Brinkley, and award-winning poet Nikki Giovanni. This spring, we have a campus presentation with Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia. The cultural calendar that can be found online is filled with opportunities to expand your worldview right here on campus. You may not remember all the details of the campus traditions I've shared with you, but if you take anything from my remarks today, I hope that you understand that a strong sense of community is perhaps the most important tradition and defining characteristic of Elon. You likely chose this institution to start or to restart your college career because you know that we have a strong sense of place and we value relationships. Ours is a campus that celebrates together, works together, and strives to be inclusive of everyone. As I conclude this afternoon, I want to offer you just a few quick words of advice. They are unsolicited, but they're also free. First, when you start looking at getting involved on campus, whether at the organization fair this coming Friday or through Phoenix Connect online, I encourage you to join an organization or two, but don't join 10. There are too many students that tell us they gave in to the pressure to feel like they were filling out a resume while they were checking boxes and adding lines, and they forgot to make sure that they were finding something meaningful and being intentional about the choices that they make. Second, I want to encourage you to get to know the faculty and staff members that you encounter. They will be invaluable mentors and connections for you while you're here at Elon. In a few years, you'll be asking them to write letters of recommendation, seeking their assistance on class projects, and reaching out to them for advice. Take the initiative to get to know them and find several to help guide you on your journey. I also encourage you to develop strong relationships with upper-class students. They too will be mentors who can help you and guide you along your journey. Third, and closely related to my previous point, be bold and ask for help when you need it. This is a campus with services and resources that exist to help you when you're struggling, academically, socially, personally, whatever it might be, please reach out. Successful students know how to take advantage of their resources and identify the systems of support that will bolster them through the difficult moments that you are bound to encounter. I assure you that you are not alone in the challenges you may face. And finally, I want to encourage you to make an effort to learn from others. Elon has always valued diversity in its student body, beginning when we opened our doors in 1889. At that time, it was a bold move to be a coeducational institution, and it is in this tradition that I encourage you to treat differences as learning opportunities. Voice your perspective and be respectful as you listen carefully to others who are voicing theirs. Get to know someone with a background different from yours. Participate in an event that stretches you outside your comfort zone. The responsibility for learning and growing from the diversity around you is yours. So welcome to Elon. I look forward to getting to know you and watching you develop your talents and achieve excellence as a member of the Elon community. And now at this time, I'd like to introduce my colleague and friend, Dr. Aswani Valetti, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, to talk with us a little bit about what it means to join an academic community. Please welcome Dr. Valetti.
Thank you, Dr. Dooley, and welcome. I bring greetings to all of you who are just starting their journey into higher education and those who began elsewhere and have decided to join our community. As Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, I'm privileged to work with over 450 outstanding Elon faculty members. They'll be greeting you tomorrow as classes begin. And let me give you an idea of the activities our faculty members are engaged in the last year, so you can get a sense of how you'll work with them between today and your graduation 4 years from now. Last fall, the U.S. News & World Report reclassified Elon as a national university, ranking it in the top 100 universities. This past year, Elon came at number 88. It also ranked Elon as number 2 in the nation for undergraduate teaching, again, only bested by Brown University. Could not agree more. Also, Elon is the only university in the nation that is ranked in the top 20 in all of the 8 student success metrics that the U.S. News & World Report measures. Elon faculty are truly remarkable and devoted teachers, scholar mentors, and enjoy teaching students both in and out of classroom, and they're noted for their accessibility and responsiveness to students. Before the pandemic hit, over 1,700 students studied away from campus in over 50 countries, including U.S. locations, such as Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., and 84% of the 2019 graduates had a global engagement which represented the largest percentage among research universities in the USA, as noted in Open Doors. Students traveled to locations such as Tanzania, Cuba, Malawi, Australia, New Zealand, and of course, France, Italy, and London. Faculty also taught courses with a service learning component in which over 1,050 students completed almost 23,500 hours of community service. As teachers, Elon faculty members will help you learn to examine more critically, think more analytically, question more insightfully, and reflect more thoughtfully. They'll stretch you and challenge you more than you thought possible. Elon faculty members take pride in their mentorship of students. They supervise honors theses, work closely with students selected for support through the Lumen Prize, and mentor students in research. Although you might think that faculty members are pretty much the same, rest assured they're passionate, interesting, and committed individuals. Like Stephen Friedland, senior scholar and professor of law, who is the winner of the Daniels-Danieli Excellence in Teaching Award for 2020. A founding member of Elon School of Law faculty, Dr. Friedland is routinely recognized at Elon, in the legal academy, and across the country for his devotion to students, teaching, scholarship, his profession, and to Elon. Has been named Teacher of the Year by Elon Law School Student Bar Association for 3 out of the 4 years the award has been offered, and he was only one of 26 professors profiled in the book, What's the Best Law Teachers Do?, who recognized his engagement with his teachers. Or, like the 2020 Distinguished Scholar Award winner, Dr. Lynn Huber, who is another example of excellence as teacher-scholar mentor. Professor Huber, the Maud Sharp Powell Professor of Religious Studies and Director of the Honors Program, has an impressive portfolio of books, articles, book reviews, and other work in the areas of religious studies. Her work is highly influential among her peers, and she continues to break new ground in the field of New Testament, specifically the book of Revelation. Or like Colin Donahue, Director, School of Communications, Student Engagement, and Alumni Affairs, an instructor in journalism, and winner of the 2020 Stephen and Patricia House Excellence in Mentoring Award. One alumna noted that Donahue recognizes his students' strength and works to help them develop further. She writes of her experience at a Journalism Education Association conference, quote unquote, Colin supported me and elevated my experience by allowing me to be a primary voice at our booth. He empowered me by affirming that my expertise as a student was worthy and valuable. Dr. Friedland, Dr. Huber, Mr. Donahue are just 3 examples of many outstanding faculty at Elon. You'll see the uniqueness of the faculty in the classes they teach, the laboratories they guide, the plays they direct, the art they produce, the polls they conduct, the films they craft, the fiction they write, the music they conduct, the internships they mentor, the mock trials and model event simulations they create for you, and the many, many other ways your paths will cross in the next 4 years. Now that I've introduced you to Elon and to the faculty, I want to give you some personal advice. First, your education is one of the single biggest investments your parents are making in you and for you. Be nice to them and appreciate all the sacrifices they're making for you. I tell my 2 daughters that they are my 401k. For those of you who don't know what a 401k is, it's retirement. While you might think that you know everything and know a lot more than your parents, keep in mind they were in your shoes once. There will be times when you'll miss home. Don't be shy about calling your parents to say hello or need advice, not just when you need money. As provost, one of my responsibilities is to repeatedly tell students that learning is not only about having the answers, it's also about asking good questions, about asking challenging questions. Learning requires a deep curiosity and a passion for being curious. This afternoon, I want to be the first Elon person to stoke the flame of curiosity in each and every one of you. Elon is all about developing a love of learning and about being engaged in the learning process. It is not just about knowing the answers to what is on the exam, but rather the joy that comes from asking questions, questions that require deep thinking, and that may not have answers. We want Elon students to be intellectually curious, adventurous, and equally important, not afraid to make mistakes. As author James Joyce said, mistakes are the portals of discovery. While mistakes are okay, be careful because we now live our lives so publicly through technology. This means that our mistakes will be exposed and preserved on the internet. With that reality, I want you to always remember a quote from the great jazz musician Miles Davis. It's not the note you played that's the wrong note. It's the note you play afterwards that makes it right or wrong. Students who truly catch the love for learning at Elon will never stop challenging themselves to be passionately curious about everything and willing to make mistakes that lead to discovery. During your 4 years at Elon, you hear the president and others say that the world needs Elon graduates. Why? Because we are crazy enough to believe that you can change the world. Elon will provide each and every one of you with the opportunity to develop your curiosity and encounter differences and to think deeply and differently. Elon will provide each and every one of you with the opportunity to become informed global citizens. So, in conclusion, on behalf of the Elon faculty, I welcome you to our academic community. The faculty's hope for you while you're at Elon is that you will become independent, self-directed learners, that you will put serious and consistent effort into your studies, that your passion and curiosity about learning will be contagious, that you'll continuously reflect upon and evaluate your own progress in this great learning adventure, that you will integrate the curricular and co-curricular components of your education and translate your Elon experiences into a story that demonstrates that you understand that your life is your interview, and that you'll harness your great potential and excel academically at Elon and professionally in your chosen vocation. It is our challenge and hope for you that you'll use your Elon education that transforms the mind, body, and spirit to understand that you can change the world and begin to do so. This morning, you participated in a session with a faculty member to help you understand what engaged learning means at Elon. I trust you learned that if being a student in your high school or the school you're transferring from meant sitting in a chair as a passive listener, let me assure you, you're in for a treat. At Elon, we believe that real learning requires your involvement and participation. Student engagement in classes and in learning process is a hallmark of Elon education. So, if you're ready to begin, so are we. On behalf of Elon's talented faculty, I welcome you to Elon and send you my best wishes for a successful adventure at Elon University. Thank you. Before I wrap up, Elon University has many traditions. You've already heard about some of them today, and another one involves music, Elon's alma mater, which is often sung at formal university gatherings. Please stand as we join Polly Cornelius, senior lecturer in music, who leads us via pre-recorded video in singing Elon's alma mater. The words can be found in your program and on the screen today.
Be.   Words and deeds to honor thee. '
Please be seated. At this time, it is an honor to formally welcome our newest students to the Elon community with traditions that are a part of our new student convocations in fall and spring. In a few moments, Provost Valetti and I will invite you to receive two gifts that serve as important symbols to the traditions that I described earlier. The first is a commemorative coin inscribed with the word honor. Receiving this coin symbolizes your commitment to the honor code and is meant to help you recall the pledge you make to our community this day. To commit yourself to honesty, being truthful in your academic work and in your relationships with others. To commit yourself to show integrity, being trustworthy, fair, and ethical. To commit yourself to responsibility, being accountable for your actions and for your learning. And to commit yourself to respect, valuing the dignity of each person and respecting the physical and intellectual property of others. The second gift we have for you is an acorn. For those of you who do not know, Elon roughly translates to oak in Hebrew. The acorn that you will receive from us today symbolizes the beginning of your journey here at Elon and your potential. Even the mightiest oak on this campus started out as a simple acorn, filled with possibility, but needing to be nurtured and supported as it grew. And just as you will be presented this acorn at the beginning of your journey here at Elon, when you graduate, you will receive an oak sapling, symbolizing the growth you have accomplished in your time at Elon, but also the tremendous future that you still have yet in front of you. In just a moment, the student marshals will lead you in the recessional, and as you depart, Provost Valetti and I invite each of you to collect your honor coin and acorn, two important symbols of welcome as you join the Elon community. To those of you joining us virtually, thank you for watching. To all of you, our newest group of students, we wish each of you the best as you begin your journey. Thank you for being here today, and welcome to Elon.